matching hundreds. I'm Jonathan Coachman. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers as they get set to square off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception, didn't have a touchdown to offset it, but the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the Steeler pressured too much here. He's going down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because
and they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
Leonard Fournette commands a lot of attention, not just because he was the first 1,000-yard running back for Jacksonville since Maurice Jones drew in 2011. It's because of his ability to hit the hole fast, to knock people over when he's carrying the football, and to run away from people when he gets to the open field. He actually has changed the identity of the Jacksonville offense, and I'm looking forward to watching him for years to come.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
Yeah, they just held them to a field goal. So to them, that was an almost complete performance because, you know, when you really shut someone out, that's complete. but that's pretty darn good, isn't it?
Green 80. Green 80.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. T.J. Watt in there to make the play. It'll be a loss of 14, and it'll bring up a fourth down. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers will get it at their own 20-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Here's Roethlisberger. And his first pass is incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. That'll bring up second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And we take you through the starting defense for Jacksonville.
I want to highlight Telvin Smith, only the 3rd linebacker in Jacksonville Jaguar history to make a Pro Bowl, but not for that reason. When he came out of Florida State with his build, many were projecting him as a safety in the NFL. Around 215 pounds. He's got a little bit bigger, but his ability to run and hit and make plays has made him one of the most valuable linebackers in the NFL. They made the right choice leaving him at that spot.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll run it with Bell. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 25 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Bortles trying the option to the right, and holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield.